Lifestyle Sundays. Y'all know what's going on. We down here at the Dream Factory, the exclusive lounge and studios. And we are in the presence of a great vocalist. We got Asliyann here today. And how you doing?
I'm doing good, thank you.
I really appreciate you, coming here, pulling up on us, checking us out. Now, for everybody that, doesn't know what you really do, what you're about, let them know real quick.
So I guess first and foremost, I'm a singer. I'm a vocalist. Music is my first love, but I'm also a film artist. I've been working with BYFA, a Hopkins workshop for over 4 years now. So film's probably like my second love. I have a nonprofit called My Father's Plan, and we actually clean the streets that I'm sitting here on 5 days a week, as well as many other communities in the city. So that's a program that is just really flourishing right now and making a huge impact on youth in the city, among just so many other things. I'm a youth advocate. I do what I can to serve.
Okay, okay, I like that. I like that. You got a lot of great things going on. So, you're from Baltimore, Maryland, right?
Yep, Northeast Baltimore, born and raised.
Okay, okay. So take us through, your childhood. What was that like for you?
Um, I mean, aside from the fact that I may have subconsciously buried a lot of it, I mean, I grew up with my dad. It was mostly just us. And, it was tough. Like, I'm a girl, he's a guy. And, it wasn't easy for, my dad being a single parent and just having me, but we made it work. And we moved around a bit, but he always made it so that I felt free, so that I felt like I had freedom, even though the reality might have been slightly different, just pertaining to our situation financially. But yeah, I grew up on Old York Road, um, same street that Tupac grew up on. So that's a street that I hold very near and dear to my heart. Old York Road, Cater Avenue, Dunbar, and Greenmount 33rd. I went to school at Baltimore City College High School. So, I spent a lot of my time on the east side, but I got some love for the south side too. That's why I went to elementary, middle school. Shout out to SBCS. So yeah, I rode bikes, I played sports. um, my house was the house that all the friends always came to sleepovers. My father really he did his thing.
Okay,
So
okay, okay. Now, what's like some of the biggest moments that like stay with you till today from your childhood?
um biggest moments probably would have been of course second grade talent show. I proposed that to the principal. I could sing, and I was always looking for a chance to show people that. So I proposed it to my principal. She made it happen, and I came in second place to a kid who hit some karate boards. It was probably fake, but I came in second place. Um, honestly, I really don't I really don't have that many things in my childhood that I can say is like hallmarks. But I mean, me and my friends, like, we went to Putty Hill every weekend to go to them parties and skate. So I mean, like, we was really it girls for real. Like, my father was picking us up, or the other parent drop us off, or reverse or whatever. So he made sure that like we had fun. So my friends is really they is the highlight of my childhood because I still got the same two friends from kindergarten.
Okay, okay. That's good. That's good. That's rare. A lot of
Yes,
people
it
can say
is.
that. Okay. Now, music wise, take us through that first moment. When you first like just realized that's the thing for you.
Mm, well, my father always was sure to put me in talent shows, whether they was at rec centers, schools, or just little events. And one time at the rec, I sung Halo,
Okay.
and if y'all know, at the end it's like a little part where she go crazy at the end, like with the you know with her vocals, and it's like a pause. And so they was loving me, but they started like clapping too soon. I was like, hold up, I'm not done. Like I gotta sing the last little part. And they waited, and when it was over, like everybody just they made me feel really special. Like they made me feel like I was very special. And so after that, it was kind of something that I just wanted to keep doing. Like I wanted to keep, giving that love with my voice and receiving it from people. I like the way that it made people feel. And so throughout high school I started to kind of give up on myself. I didn't think I could make it happen. And that's just because of just the stuff that I was going through in high school. I was getting into a lot of trouble. So I didn't think I could make it happen until NBA YoungBoy popped out with what was it? The song that went crazy. I think it just was, I don't remember, but everybody know the song that popped off and got him hot in Baltimore at least. And he was my age. He's about 16 or 17 when it dropped. And it just inspired me. Mind you, me and his music sound nothing alike. But he was hard and niggas was feeling him. So it was just like he was doing exactly what I wanted to do. I didn't like school. So, I made it through just barely by the, skin of my teeth. But he was doing exactly what I wanted to do. So once I got out of high school, I went and recorded my first song and dropped my first music video, 3 a.m., which is what let people know that I sang. And from there, just was like, if I stop, they gonna call me like I could have been. I could let that happen.
So what was that reaction like? When you first dropped your first song, first music video, and people were reacting to it. What was that like for you?
Man, like people was eating that up. Like people really love 3 a.m. Like 3 a.m. I was like 18 or 19 when I wrote it. I dropped it and did the music video on the subway at Mondawmin.
Oh wow.
So like you would think that we in a whole nother state. Like no, we right here in the mix, in the trenches. We right here with it, and you can't even tell. But I mean, people was going crazy, and that's just because support was a lot different, even in 2018 compared to now.
Right.
Like the way that people support you is different, and so it gave me so much adrenaline. Like I got a lot of love off that. Like to this day, like that's my most viewed video on YouTube, my most played song. So, and people who really love me and rock with me, like they remember it and they still talk about it and they still ask to hear it. So, it's just 3 a.m. is love, basically.
Okay. Now, what was your most meaningful song that you wrote to you?
Mm. Um, my most meaningful song is probably well, I don't know. I kind of got two.
Okay.
My first EP was probably my song Sanity. And on my second tape, it would probably be My Heart.
Okay. Now, why? Take us through my heart.
So My Heart was released. Well, I'm pretty sure that I had actually wrote it beforehand, but the video didn't come out until after I came out of the psych ward. I went in last summer. I wasn't doing very well. Like I was very sad. And I mean, before I had even went there, what led up to it was me just being very sad. I was sad when I wrote it. I was sad when I recorded it. Sad when I made the video. And My Heart. It started out being about my mother. I wanted it to be about her. Um, my father wanted me to write about her. She's not dead. It's just the relationship is not what I wish it was. So I wanted to write about her, but when I started creating the hook, I started thinking about everybody else who had hurt me. And the song basically ended up being just about the pain that I was dealing with over the years. So the lyrics are very explicit, like if you read them, if you really read them, without the beat and everything, like you can understand exactly what I was going through. I'm very blunt in the song.
Okay, okay, okay. And now, writing, being able to write out your emotions and being able to perform it and sing, like, is that like your where you find your mental peace at, or like what is that feeling for you?
Um, I told my friend one time, a producer friend of mine, that my music doesn't help my mental health. My mental health helps my music. I'm not really the type of person to write when I'm sad. In fact, when I'm sad or upset, I don't want to do anything. But it is easier for me to go back. I can go back. I can remember things that I felt. I can remember dark places because I usually don't want to go there again. But I can write as if I'm there again. So, I mean, music is meditation for me. I do meditate occasionally, but my thoughts kind of whir around and I might not last longer than 5 to 10 minutes. But music is another form of meditation for me because at the end of the day, like I'm using my throat chakra. Like it's vibrating. I'm making sound waves. And a lot of times I close my eyes when I sing. It's just a habit that I do. But I mean, yeah, it's definitely a different type of piece for me.
Okay, I know like your songs, there's a lot of emotion behind it, a lot of passion behind it. But like, is there any moment like you've been in a studio where you creating a song, and like, oh, okay, this is a more upbeat type of song, or you ever tested the waters out a little bit?
No, I definitely have some pop songs, and
Yeah.
that's just for the culture. Like, it'd be fun in the moment of making it, but I usually get tired of them very fast. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of pride myself on being a bit of an emo girl. Like, I'm a bit alternative. I'm a little grunge. I'm a sad girl for real, for real. Not sad, but like that's my vibe. So, but I make music for the people, and I get hyped from time to time.
Anybody you look up to music wise that helps inspire your music?
Absolutely. Her name is Sia.
Okay.
She's my favorite singer, my favorite vocalist. I think that she has helped me more than anything find my voice and my style of singing.
And it's one of my favorite questions. Since you write so much, you should. I'm sure you have a lot of favorites. But what to you is like your top maybe lyric that you said so far?
Oh wow. Um, Top favorite lyric? What would that be? mm. Um, I mean, it's really fun saying I can't be caught giving a fuck. People really, they go kind of crazy when I say that. So, I mean, I guess that's fun, but I need to really sit here and think about what were my favorite. Um, I should have known then that we couldn't be friends. It just felt so right. We never came down. Your love got me so high. Can you see the light? Don't want to wake up. Just dance to the morning. Make it last all night. We'll never be friends.
Okay, okay. Explain that to us.
That song is called Self Control,
Mm,
and I created it with a really special guy named John Tyler. Shout out to him. And he made the beat for me, and he sent it to me when I was working at Amazon. And I had a break for a few minutes, and I was just listening to it, and I just wrote the song on break. And we did a video to it and everything. I had backup dancers. It was a lot of fun. But I love the beat so much because it made me think of my time in Cuba. Um, in Cuba, I mean, I've been a few places, but I talk about Cuba a lot just because of the impact that it had on me when I went. It was a beautiful place with beautiful people, brown skin just like me. They just spoke Spanish. And in Cuba, I danced a lot in the street with strangers, and they taught me the best they could. I got 2 left feet, but nonetheless, it was a beautiful experience. And the beat that he made just kind of it really took me back to Cuba. And I'm a lover girl, like to the day I die. It's just who I am. So like whenever I think about what love is to me, love is dancing in the street, like nobody's around. Um, so self control is just about someone that you just love so much that all you want to do is just never wake up, dance forever.
Okay, okay. And now, talking about you've traveled around.
Yeah.
What was that like? First making music in Baltimore,
Mm.
and then you going these other places again, these other inspirations, and seeing all these things that change how
Yeah.
you think and everything. What was the difference to you doing music after that?
Well, I think that it was almost like vital to my sound now, and the way that I write and the way that I'm able to interpret other people's music and appreciate other people's music. Um, when I was in Cuba, I did get to perform there with other Spanish artists, and they're artists that I still, a couple of them I still like. We're friends on social media still. And it just was a different experience, just being somewhere else with people who they don't speak the same language as me, but they are just as passionate about their lyrics and the things that they're saying. And they have their own version of hip hop and R&B, and there's things that we don't even have here. Like there's a style called flamingo. It's beautiful. um and then it's also just like the things that you see. Like sometimes when you have writer's block, or when you are, just stuck, you need to see something different than your 4 blocks and the neighborhoods that you drive past every day. Like it definitely helps to see something else, because you're at that point just opening your mind to something that you couldn't even fathom because you didn't know it existed.
Okay, okay. And now, as somebody that grew up in Baltimore,
Mhm.
especially for a female, it's a difficult path, you know, for most. Like I say, so for the younger generation, what advice could you give to them? Being where you are now, being seeing all those things, being able to grow your music. What advice can you give to them?
Honestly, this is going to sound so cliche, but like, you will never regret being yourself.
Mm,
Like, you will never regret, wearing what you want to wear, and, you know, doing any kind of art or business ideas that you have. Like, you won't regret it because you will learn from it and you'll appreciate the experience. I want to say, like, if you have, both of your parents, or at least one parent, or really good friends who tell you when you're wrong, like, listen to them, appreciate them. And I mean, give love just because. Like, give love. Whatever you put out into the universe, it will come back to you. Know that the universe is just as alive as you are. And I mean, do your best to just do good in the world. Don't stress. Don't be afraid ever. Um, just put out what you want.
okay, that's deep. That's deep. And now, besides the music, what else can we find you doing?
Well, yeah, you can find me behind the camera a lot. I am starting a new documentary project actually tomorrow, on the eastern shore of Maryland, with a waterman who's been catching sea creatures for like 70 years. I don't always get to pick what we do, but I mean, yeah, I'll be shooting probably my first independent film, maybe like at the end of the summer. So you can catch me behind the camera pretty much every season. It's always something different. And I mean, I look how I look right now, but if you catch me in Federal Hill between the hours of 8 a.m. and 9, I will look like a hobo, and I will be picking up trash that people leave when they come down here and get drunk.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And then there's about 5 parks that I do after I leave from here in the morning, that I clean up with a young adult crew, and a kid crew on the weekends. But the kid crew will be taking over all of the cleaning duties this summer. It'll be their summer job. So I will be kind of more at our home base located on Old York Road. seeing, day-to-day operations. We have a therapy program that we just integrated to our nonprofit. There's a lunch program, and we are also hosting what will be the biggest high school basketball tournament this summer. Kids from every school, to be over 100 kids. And the games will be posted live from my podcast. So, I mean, I'm everywhere.
Yeah,
I'm doing everything.
yeah, definitely, definitely. What's that interaction like? Being able to, one, give back to your city, and two, really give back to the youth.
um, I mean, I was born a disciple. I'm here to teach. I'm here to give. I'm here to spread whatever I have to spread. I mean, even in elementary and high school, like I was being hired as a keynote speaker and getting, took into DC to speak to teachers about how to teach Black kids. So for as long as I can remember, I've been for my people. I've been for children because those years are so crucial to personal development. Like being a child is just as hard as being an adult. Because if you have a shitty childhood, like you are, I mean, it's fair game for you at that point. So, it's just really important. It's imperative that, kids are being taught the right way in school, and color does matter. It's important that they know their power, that they know who they are, who they can be. And I mean, giving back to my city is like, it's just the least that I can do. Like, the city has hurt me in some ways, like I was freaking robbed when I was 17. That sucked. But I mean, like, this is my city. Like, people are, people are hurting, people are lost. And I am blessed enough to be able to, kind of take a stab and, still be able to give love. So, this is the place that raised me. So I still love it. I still want it to flourish.
Okay, okay. I like that. I like that. Man, you're really doing a lot. You're not only with your music, with what you're doing for the city, what you're doing for these kids. I think that you definitely got a lot of potential. Um, one, you have an amazing voice.
Thank you.
So, hey, you have any last words? Do you have any shout outs? Anything you want to say?
Mm, um, this is so crazy. I'm usually asking people. um, Now I get why people freeze up. They're like, oh, let's see. Shout out Old York Road. Shout out Slim Charlie Records. Shout out my dad, Dwight. Shout out to Maja, Sky, Destiny, Shauna, Tyron, all my friends who just, support me and love me to the fullest. Um, Shout out Underrated. Uh, Shout out me.
There you go. Okay, okay. Well, once again, I appreciate you coming on the show. Let everybody know where they can follow you and find your music at.
Yeah, so I try to keep all my social medias the same. So it's just my name, Asliyann, Asliyann, on Instagram, on every streaming platform. Um, Twitter and TikTok is just a one in front of my name. But yeah, I'm on every platform available, so you'll find me there.
Y'all here, it's Asliyann. Find her everywhere. Follow her. Listen to her music. You won't be missing. Oh well, you will be missing now if you don't listen to it. Definitely appreciate you pulling up on me.
Yes.
Great conversation. Really love what you got going on.
Yeah, shout out La Boca and this podcast.
Definitely, definitely. Y'all know where we at. We're in the Dream Factory exclusive lounge and studios. We got La Boca on deck. Spliffy here. Pre-flight is here. We got everything you need. It's High Style Sundays. Keep tuning in.